What's going on, guys? So we're back here with another cigar review, and tonight's review is going to be on the Davidoff Churchill Late Hour. So this particular late hour is going to be in the Robusto format, 5x52. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano Escudo wrapper. The binder is Mexican, and the filler is Dominican and Nicaraguan. That said, some of these leaves, some of the tobacco, they don't really specify, but it is on Davidoff's website, straight from Davidoff, that some of the tobacco in this cigar is aged in ex-Scotch barrels. So, that said, I have had a late hour once before in the actual Churchill format, a little over a year ago. So it's actually been a while since I've had this particular cigar. I do remember liking it. I don't remember much about it. So I'm going to go ahead and review this for you guys tonight and let you know what my thoughts are on it. So I am a really big Davidoff fan, personally. It's one of the first of the bigger brands that I got into before I ever got into Fuente, which is probably my overall favorite cigar manufacturer, favorite brand. Before I ever got into Padrones or anything like that, Davidoff was my foray into the upper echelon, so to speak, of cigars. Padron, I believe the Churchill might have been, actually no, the Millennium was probably the first Davidoff I actually had the privilege of having, and then I believe the Churchill was the second, the regular Churchill in Churchill, and then not long after that I ended up trying the late hour. But yeah, it's a pretty chilly fall night. It's about 40 something degrees right now. It's way worse in the mornings. I had a cigar this morning. I think it was like 36, 37 degrees outside. Get this thing toasted. So to start off, we got smooth aged tobacco. And a nice malty note. Kind of reminds me of chocolate, but this is a little bit different. This is malt. So any Muscatch drinkers out there, you know what malt tastes like. Even if you like malted milkshake or something like that, it's very much like chocolate. It's kind of semi-sweet, but it's not quite chocolate. It's its own thing. Silky smooth tobacco, chewy smoke texture. Pepper on the retrohales maybe about a 4 at the most. Very, very, very light on the retrohale. No sting on the sinuses, but it does have just a little bit of bite to it. So far so good. I'm gonna smoke this down it further into the first third, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. Okay guys, so here we are well into this first third. This thing's burning well. Flaky ash, not that that really matters much. Somewhat wavy burn line, nothing crazy though. Sharp action, but it is a sharp burn line as well. At this point, I'm getting some cedar, not a ton, just a little bit. Smooth aged tobacco. Still getting quite a bit of that maltiness with some chocolate undertones. And so far, this thing is very good, but it does have that signature Davidoff mildness to it. It's not a very full-bodied cigar. The flavors are good. The flavors are noticeable. The smoke texture is chewy, but it is not a super in-your-face punchy cigar. The cigar is definitely filled with quite a bit of nuance. That said, very much enjoying it. I don't have an issue with that. Some people do. Some people just the way their palate is. They much rather have a punchy, just super full flavored in your face cigar. Me, I don't mind that at all, but I also don't mind a cigar that kind of makes you think a little bit, that switches up on you a little bit, that makes you dig a little bit. It's not producing a lot of smoke. So that said, the draw is also a bit on the tighter side. I didn't clip a ton off the cap, but that you still expect it to have a better draw than that. So I may punch this just a little bit in between takes here. That said though, guys, I'll catch you well into that second third, probably about the halfway point in this one. That is, unless anything changes between now and then. Okay guys, so end of the first third, beginning of the second third, and this thing is settled into a really nice groove. At this point, I'm getting oak, I'm getting milk chocolate, and I'm still getting that maltiness, as well as a nice musty earth kind of supporting that whole profile. It is very good. It is not a super punchy cigar. I'd say it's about medium bodied, medium to full bodied, and a very, very chewy smoke texture. As you can see, still holding on to that ash. It started out pretty flaky, but then it's gotten pretty solid up to this point. Razor sharp burn line, albeit a tad bit wavy, nothing crazy. Very much enjoying where this cigar is at. If you're the type of person, again, who likes to be punched in the face by your cigars, this is not it. But if you enjoy a really good tasting, great burning, great performing cigar, this is definitely going to be it. So again, I'm gonna keep going. So here we are at the halfway point, and not really much has changed with the flavor profile. One thing I did want to touch on is that the finish on this thing is phenomenal. There's this sweetness, this just sweet lingering flavor on the end of the finish for the cigar, and it just hangs with you. It just sticks around. Beautiful stick. So we are at the halfway point. I have yet to ash on this thing, as you guys can see. That ash is hanging on there. It is sturdy. It is solid. We'll see how far down it goes. But I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys that update for the most part. I really just wanted to show off this ash, if nothing else. But I'm going to go ahead and smoke this down to the final third and let you guys know if anything has changed. Give you guys an update. So here we are in the final third, guys. And this cigar is taking a significant step back. Still a very enjoyable cigar. Still hitting a lot of that musty oak. But that's really the main flavor profile right here, is just musty oak and earth. There's just a tad bit, just a teensy bit of that maltiness still in there. Chocolate's gone. Getting some aged tobacco notes as well, but with the maltiness having taken a significant step back, as well as the chocolate completely going out of the profile, musty oak, earth is pretty much the main flavor profile. There's still a nice little finish, almost a sweetness that's a bit more bitter because of the oak has taken over the profile so much, but there's still just a tad bit of sweetness on the finish. Overall, still a good smoke. Alright guys, so here we are at the end of this one. Overall, it's been a good experience. This is much more the same that I got with the final third, where the musty oak took prominence over the flavor profile, and so much so that, like, if you're familiar with oak, if you get too much oak in something, it comes with like a bitterness, like the wood tannins. And this still did have a bit of sweetness on the finish, but even that sweetness was marred just a little bit by the bitterness coming from the oak. So musty oak and earth are the primary flavors in this final third. Most of the malt is gone, all of the chocolate's gone, and a lot of the sweetness is being overshadowed by the bitterness from the oak. So that said, overall, good smoking experience, good cigar. I managed to pick up these for about $20 a stick, which, is it a $20 stick? Probably not, but it's a Davidoff and it is what it is. That said, I'd give this cigar, in my final rating, a B, a solid B. It's not an amazing cigar. It's not going to knock your socks off, but it is a good cigar. This is a good anytime smoke. First thing in the morning. later on at night after a meal. Doesn't really matter. Pairs well with just about anything. Coffee, whiskey, whatever you want to do with it. I do recommend this cigar if you can find that at a decent price. That's it. That's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.